Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are taking on something truly immense.
Immense is the right word.
We're looking at a global educational and industrial initiative called Docuplay. And this is it's so much more than just another platform for online courses.
Oh, absolutely. It's a complete knowledge ecosystem. And our mission today is to really unpack its ambitious 12-program structure.
Right.
It aims to drive innovation, map out global knowledge, and secure future jobs for millions of people, all while maximizing the value of, intellectual property.
And what I find fascinating is the architecture behind it. It marries this very structured, almost old-world learning system, the Dewey Decimal Classification, the DDC,
Right, from the library.
with cutting-edge Gen AI and Agent AI technology. It's this incredible paradox.
It is, and it's all built on top of extensive federal data. We're talking systems like the U.S. Geological Survey and classification systems from the U.S. Labor Department.
So what this means for you, the learner, is you're not just getting information. You're getting these highly customized, authenticated pathways straight into professional growth.
And crucially, into intellectual property ownership. It's designed to be a constructive powerhouse of specialized knowledge. Let's jump in with Program 1.
Okay, Program 1. This one focuses squarely on industrial subjects, and it feels like Docuplay's direct answer to the need for advanced R&D.
It is. It mandates that R&D, or R&D plus I as they call it, for innovation, must be conducted directly by tertiary education centers, so TechSocs.
Covering both professional and university levels.
Exactly. And this is where the forward-thinking use of technology is just so clear. This isn't just about writing abstract papers.
No.
Docuplay is using Gen AI, Agent AI, to focus these R&D efforts on, really practical outcomes.
Like actual product design.
Actual product design, and even the software you need for mass production with things like 3D printers. It ensures intellectual work becomes a physical, marketable reality almost immediately.
The economic model behind it is, I think, exceptionally insightful. It seems to solve that age-old problem of who owns the idea.
It does. Once a product design is validated, a contract is signed right away to determine the income from commercialization. But the really constructive part is how it rewards collaboration.
That's the key innovation, isn't it?
Absolutely. In these complex projects, you might have different people working on different parts. A researcher, an industrial designer, a programmer.
Right.
Docuplay's system ensures that if the research, the design, and the programming are done by different authors, the contract is signed by all of them.
So everyone who contributed gets a piece of the commercial contract.
Exactly. It guarantees collaborative benefits. It rewards intellectual property across that entire value chain.
Which basically turns education into immediate equity participation.
Yes.
And if you connect this to the broader strategy that's mentioned in the Docuplay guide, this whole program aligns directly with major national objectives.
It does. It mentions the stated objective of the U.S. Secretary of Labor to outcompete China, specifically by leading in alternative protein R&D.
So they're framing this as more than just commerce.
Precisely. It's viewed as essential for national security, for strategic global leadership.
Yeah.
Docuplay connects that high-level policy goal directly to an individual student's innovation and, their financial reward.
Okay, so moving from that industrial core, Docuplay then unfolds this monumental geographic vision with programs 2 and 3.
Yeah, this is where they start mapping global knowledge by, mapping the actual world.
And they're using a pretty vast foundation for this.
A truly vast one. It's the U.S. Federal Administration's Geographic Names Information System, or GNIS. It has something like 16 million registered place names.
16 million. Wow.
And Program 2, which focuses on world countries, leverages that data for two really profound benefits.
Let's start with the first one, which sounds more community-focused, fostering empathy.
Yes. The first layer is that human connection. You, as a student, would start by studying your most immediate toponyms, your own neighborhood, your town, and then expand outward. It grounds the learning in the reality of human communities.
And then the second layer connects that human reality back to the industrial side we just talked about.
Correct. The second benefit is market creation. By tracking who is studying what and where, Docuplay gets this critical big data.
So it can see where demand might be.
Exactly. That data is used to define and create markets, especially for those specialized products coming out of the techs. It's a localized, intelligent feedback loop between knowledge, geography, and manufacturing.
And the guide describes these courses as metaverses in some cases, which sounds like more than just digitized information.
It is. In this context, metaverse isn't just a VR space. It's a knowledge sphere that, as they say, transcends the traditional or academic approach. By digitizing and interlinking all that GNIS data, they create a dynamic, living knowledge ecosystem of the world.
And Program 3 takes that same massive data set and applies it to non-populated places.
Right, and this is where planetary stewardship becomes a core educational goal. The focus here is environmental protection and developing the biodiversity project. It's a very powerful commitment to global resource management.
Okay, this is where it gets really structurally interesting for me. The academic backbone. The fact that Docuplay uses the Dewey Decimal Classification
The old library system?
to organize everything from primary school all the way up to lifelong professional retraining.
And it's not an accident. It's kind of a brilliant move. The DDC provides a globally accepted, non-proprietary structure, which you need for a system of this scale.
Right.
Program 4.1 is the foundation.
For primary education.
Right. Introducing basic concepts from both the humanities and the sciences, covering most of the 100 DDC divisions.
And then for older students and professionals who need to stay current, there's Program 4.2.
Yes, 4.2, which they call STEM, so science, technology, engineering, math, social sciences, and arts. It's reinforcement for secondary students, but just as vitally, it's for people already in the workforce.
To update their skills.
To update skills, secure their job, adapt. It gives you a very clear, structured path for career longevity.
Then we get into the real depth of the DDC. Program 5 is all about the social sciences DDC Class 3, and it's described as a hybrid or mixed science.
Part demonstrable, part purely argumentative, which is a fascinating way to put it.
It is.
And the sheer volume here is incredible. Over 10,000 courses in this area alone. And for American specialists, for example, they have specific annexes on the constitutions of every U.S. state and the titles of the U.S. Code.
That's an incredible level of detail.
It is. It ensures that specialized knowledge is grounded in real-world legal and political frameworks.
And speaking of specialization, Program 6 is pure STEM for higher education and critically lifelong learning.
This is Docuplay's direct answer to knowledge becoming obsolete. Alumni from colleges or vocational training can access tens of thousands of customizable microcourses for free.
For free to update their training.
For free. Forever. The content is always increasing and shared globally, so your knowledge stays fresh and competitive. It's a huge advantage for the individual learner.
Okay, let's pivot to the mechanics of employment itself with Program 7, the Occupations Program.
This is all about professional classification. It's inspired by and studies over 800 occupations that are defined and classified by the U.S. Federal Administration.
So it's based on official government sources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by modeling its structure on the DDC's 3 levels, it gives you a detailed, authoritative map of the job market, ensuring your training aligns perfectly with documented employment needs.
What's truly exciting, though, is the potential for wealth creation that seems to be mapped out in the next few programs, 8, 9, and 10, the Biodiversity Project.
This is the new frontier. I mean, these programs address one of the most astonishing gaps in human knowledge.
Which is?
Well, think about this. Recent scientific reports estimate that we've only cataloged about 15% of terrestrial biodiversity, animal and plant species.
Only 15%.
15. That means 85% is still, completely uncharted territory.
That is an immense percentage of ignorance. It just highlights the staggering potential for researchers in taxonomy.
It's not just theory. This is about training people to discover entirely new resources. Programs 8 and 9 focus on 2 levels. First, discovering and cataloging new species in that 85%.
But second,
analyzing the species we already know about for their value.
Yep.
Nutritional, medicinal, industrial. It turns pure science into economic opportunity.
and Program 10, the Mineral Kingdom, takes that and adds a direct, immediate economic incentive.
Absolutely. An analyst who discovers a patentable species or element doesn't just get a job. They also, and this is key, share any economic benefits.
So profit sharing.
A real profit-sharing structure. It makes specialized knowledge a clear path to wealth creation. It's all about maximizing opportunity through scientific discovery.
But Docuplay also seems to recognize that not all knowledge is, demonstrable or mathematical. It includes Program 11 and 12 on the humanities.
Which is essential for critical thought. These 2 programs complete the 5 DDC humanities classes. Program 11 focuses on what they call argumentative knowledge.
Argumentative knowledge. Why is Docuplay emphasizing that so strongly?
Because, as the guide states, it's essential for gaining a more critical and profound vision of world and mankind. It explicitly says this kind of reflective knowledge is necessary to counter the common and dangerous trend of absolute relativism.
So it's about promoting structured critical thinking alongside the science.
Exactly. It's about stability of thought. And Program 12, Languages and Literatures, reinforces this by using the study of your own language and literature as a tool for, and I'm quoting here, self-knowledge and individual and social self-understanding.
It's structured introspection.
It is. You need both. You need this STEM demonstrative knowledge and the humanities argumentative knowledge. It ensures the people designing the future with Gen AI also have the insight to understand the human consequences.
Okay, so let's get into the practical side.
Yeah.
How do you actually access all of this?
Well, they offer impressive flexibility. There are two main ways in. You can be an independent student, what they call Modality A.
Paying for it yourself.
Right. Or you could be a student assigned to an entity, like a company or an institution. That's Modality B. This makes sure it's accessible across the whole economy.
And I noticed some practical rules in there to prevent, I guess, information overload.
Yes, and they're very constructive. Courses are activated for a maximum of 6 months, and you can't have more than 6 active courses at the same time.
So it forces you to focus.
It forces prioritization and encourages mastery, not just surface-level clicking. It promotes deep focus, which you need for that advanced R&D work.
And finally, let's touch on the use of confidential data. The guide notes that all the data they collect is useful and beneficial. How is that constructive for the learner?
Because it's all used for personalization. The more it knows about your goals and your background, even from non-mandatory fields, the more it can fine-tune your teaching experience for your direct benefit.
And it helps the system as a whole.
It does. That aggregated data helps organize rankings at different levels, which helps the techs and the industrial consortia function more efficiently. It's a seamless feedback loop where your data helps the whole ecosystem thrive.
So when you pull it all together, Docuplay really is built on this expansive constructive vision. It's a global platform using vast federal data, structured for maximum professional opportunity, and really rewarding IP in these emerging fields.
It's a grand infrastructure for future prosperity, all built on structured knowledge. Which brings up a final thought.
Go on.
Given Docuplay's intensive reliance on the DDC, this highly structured century-old library system, to organize everything from Gen AI design to the hunt for undiscovered species, what does that reveal?
What does it reveal about what?
About the enduring, maybe a stabilizing power of universal structured knowledge systems in our current age of just, overwhelming information overload.
That is something worth serious contemplation. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world-changing structure of Docuplay.